And now for part two. Kurumu thinks about whether to earn Skinny's love or to charm her way to it. Then Skinny wakes up in a trance, and thus Kurumu is tempted with the opportunity to kiss him, and thus seal the charm permanently. Skinny then starts acting normally, confusing Kurumu and making her think that the charm had zero effect on him. Then Skinny starts hugging Kurumu against his will, and she just hopes that the charm fades before she can get into any more trouble. Then Skinny says he was worried about Kurumu the way because she felt she was acting weird, and Kurumu explains that she felt that Skune and her weren't spending any quality time, and he felt like it was like he was paying less and less attention to her. So in other words, much like Electro, all she wanted was just everybody to see her. I could probably no at this point that could probably become an internet meme. So anyway, we cut back to Mocha, Mizure, Ruby, and Yukari continuing to search for Kurumu and Skune while chasing Kokoa, who is running diversion. Kurumu then starts to play a fantasy where her and Skune are husband and wife. I wasn't too far off with that Electro parallel. Oh, and look, there's the ass shot. Oh, there it is. I knew it was only a matter of time before we got that. Anyway, the two spent some quality time by playing video games and eating some sweets, as well as singing karaoke. Then Kurumu asks Skune to say he likes her. And that's like for any of you, those of you who aren't comfortable with the word love. But he says it like a robot. Like he says this, I like you. Yeah, like that. And Kurumu can't get him to say it normally, and she starts fearing that he may not love her. This causes Kurumu to start crying and pleading him to say it normally, which he finally ends up doing, with her saying she loves him. That's actually kind of a bit tragic that Kurumu has to deal with the fear that she's devoting all her heart and attention towards this person, and he might not feel the same way. And a bit of a spoiler: this is actually going to lead to more tragic things because of how Kurumu and her race are related towards love. But we'll get back to that later. Kurumu says she is grateful for the time they spent together and prepares to rid the charm. And if we also look at her room, she has a doll version of Oogie Boogie and his minions from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I probably should have expected Akihisa Akida was a Nightmare Before Christmas fan. But before Kurumu can dispel the charm, she realizes that Skune's clothes are dirty and she decides to wash them. However, Mocha and the girls arrive just in time to catch Kurumu taking Skune's shirt off and assume that she was about to have sex with him, and thus proceed to kick her ass. Oh god, that's the funniest thing in this whole chapter. Anyway, the charm starts to wear off, and Skinny says he can't remember anything that happens, and thus Kurumu's confessions and deep personal moments will be kept a secret. Then Kokoa asks, why didn't Kurumu seal the charm with Skinny with a kiss? And Kurumu says that Kokoa will understand when she's in love with a person. And thus we go back to Kurumu greeting Skinny in her traditional way, and saying she hasn't given up on them. It was a pretty nice chapter. Got to see how Kurumu living out her fantasy, even though it was kind of creepy, and try to express her personal feelings towards Skune, and um, kind of encountered the possible harsh reality that Skune might not return these feelings, and hopefully that she'll have to learn how to deal with that at some point. So overall, good chapter. And we'll cut back to Rosario Vampire 2 next time.